Alright guys, let's see how you did on these three. So I gave you a chance to get started on sine, cosine, tangent. If you didn't finish, don't worry about it. Let's just go over and see how you did. I'm going to change this to a little bit darker of a color so hopefully people at home can see it a little better. Okay, so let's look at number 2. Can I have a volunteer? Yes, Melissa, she's eyeing me. She was like, please call on me, Solberg. How did you label your sides opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse, Melissa?
Wait, what? Oh, I put 13 as hypotenuse and x as opposite.
Great. And so if we do SOHCAHTOA, which trig ratio is that?
Sine.
So we're going to do sine of 38 is equal to opposite x over hypotenuse 13. Were you guys able to set that up using sine? Opposite and hypotenuse, there you go. Okay. Then what would I do from there, Melissa? I want to solve for x. And boom, that gets x all alone. I'm going to go in my calculator, put in 13 sine of 38. What do you guys get? 8.0, which is just 8, right? There we go. Looking at our picture, that seems to fit, so good job. There is your first answer. Raise your hand if you were able to get that on your own. Just a couple of you guys. All right, that's okay. Maybe there was something there that threw you off. Let's try number 4. Anyone want to volunteer as tribute on number 4? Go ahead, Isaac.
So x is adjacent.
Uh-huh.
Adjacent over hypotenuse, I put cosine 55 equals x over 19.
Awesome. You guys agree with how he's got that set up? Adjacent over hypotenuse, so it's x over 19. Great. And then what would I do to solve for x?
You would multiply 19 for both sides.
And did you get that in your calculator? What is 19 times the cosine of 55?
10.9.
Rounds up to 9. We're okay with that. And then, looking at our hypotenuse, sure, that seems like a value that would fit well there. Thanks, Isaac, for volunteering. Any questions on that one? All right. Number 6, last one. Anyone? Volunteers, takers? Skylar, you on this one?
Sure.
Yes. Go, Skylar.
So, x would be opposite.
Uh-huh.
And then the 10 would be the adjacent. And then the long side would be hypotenuse. And then it would be tangent.
Because opposite and adjacent. Perfect. So I got tangent of 72. And what is the ratio going to be?
X over 10.
It is, because opposite over adjacent. Perfect. Good job, Skylar. And then if I want to solve for x, what do I do?
You multiply it.
And on both sides. Boom. Did you get that in your calculator already?
And then you would get 30.8.
Looks good on the picture. Nice job, guys. You got it. Okay, do you have any questions on these 6? Now, what we're going to jump to now, there's some other ones that you can practice on your own. We're not going to go over those together. I feel like this was good. What I want to go over, though, is these are commonly used in story problems. Usually the story problems are pretty lame. And then I was like, you know what? That ends today. We're going to do an epic story problem. So, go with me to here.
Trauma! You can't!
Baby Yoda is in trouble.
Oh no!
And Mando needs to save him. If the angle from Mando to Yoda is 55 degrees and Mando is 100 yards from the cliff, how far will he have to fly to get Baby Yoda before those Iron Man robot things come in to try to kidnap him, okay?
Dark Troopers?
Dark Troopers, is that the name? I call them Iron Man ripoffs, but whatever.
They're Darth Vader ripoffs.
Oh, okay.
Iron Man is
Okay, let's go and fill this in, though. What do we know about this picture?
We have 55 yards.
No, 100 yards.
No, 55 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay, so this angle of elevation here is 55 degrees.
And then we have 100 yards from
Now, we're assuming this makes a right triangle here, okay? So here's our right triangle. Now, what are we trying to find? Good, this distance right here, let's call it x. It's our hypotenuse.
And we have what's adjacent.
Okay, cool. Let's pause there for a second. I drew the picture because I didn't think I could do Baby Yoda justice by freehand, so I just used a picture, right? Now, here my question for you guys is, does that picture make sense? We good? Okay, let's go ahead and let's come up with what trig ratio. So don't shout it out. I want you to turn to your neighbor and figure out which trig ratio would we use here. And what do you guys say?
Cosine.
This would be cosine of our angle. How come it was cosine?
Because it was adjacent over.
There you go. So if I do adjacent, it's 100, and the hypotenuse is x. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and try to solve this for now. What's going to be my first step?
Getting x below.
So it's in the denominator. Now let's get it out of the denominator by multiplying both sides by x. So I get x times the cosine of 55 degrees is equal to 100. So since x was in the bottom, this will actually be a two-step. What's my second step going to be?
Dividing by cosine.
Okay, so then you're going to go on your calculator and put in 100 divided by the cosine of 55.
174.34.
So he's got to turn on his jetpack and get 174 yards. Will he make it in time?
I don't know. Probably not.
I should have had those dark troopers coming down so it's a race.
Obviously, we've seen how this goes. He doesn't make it in time.
Maybe this is a different scenario.
Yeah.
How many of you guys are watching Mandalorian or have watched it?
I know my family's
Yeah.
not.
Just a few. If not, it's fun.
It's so fun. You get that like peak Star Wars dad content like we didn't get since the original trilogy.